my friends. It's a rainy day, and it's a great day for some yin. So let's practice together some yummy yin and get a little still and meditative. Look, sometimes we feel like we need an excuse to slow down. I don't anymore. I used to. But this beautiful rain, there's nothing like a beautiful rainy day to give us permission to read, watch movies, curl up with a nice cozy cover. So let's do that. Let's find a comfortable seat and lift your hips up on a blanket or a towel. If you have yoga blocks or something that you can use as a prop, maybe a pillow from your sofa or your bed, I recommend that. So you can pause the video now and run get it and come back. And then if you're back, that was quick, find a comfortable seat. And we'll sit up tall, and we'll begin just with some centering. And then we'll see what Mary Oliver has to say about this rain. Allowing your eyes to close, your gaze to soften. Let your hands rest wherever they're comfortable. Begin to notice the sounds in the distance. Maybe you can hear the rain falling. Notice the sounds that are closer in. Notice the temperature of the air. Begin to notice the rise and fall of your chest with your breath. And just soften your belly. Welcome in a deeper breath, filling up the belly, the ribs, and the lungs. And let your exhalation slow down. Allow your lips to close gently. And breathe this next inhalation in through the nostrils, feeling the insides of the nostrils as you invite in a new breath. Filling up belly, ribs, lungs. And exhale, feel the warmth of the breath on the upper lip as you breathe out completely. Inhaling again. And exhaling slowly. And keep going with your slow, deep inhalations and exhalations. And of course, Mary Oliver has poetry about the rain. And this one is called Rain in Ohio. The robin cries, rain. The crow calls, plunder. The black snake climbing in the vines halts his long ladder of muscle, while the thunderheads whirl up out of the white west, their dark hooves nicking the tall trees as they come. Rain, 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 sings the robin frantically, then flies for cover. The crow hunches, the black snake pours himself swift and heavy into the ground. We can surrender to this beautiful rain and allow its presence in our life to speak to us, maybe calling us to slow down. Inviting us to soften and just be with what is this moment. Take one more full breath in. And as you exhale out, blink open your eyes, and we'll take our blankets. Towel works fine. And mine is folded in quarters. We're going to roll it up, so make it into like a cannoli roll, some people like to call it. And then if you have tassels like mine, if you have a traditional Mexican type yoga blanket, tuck your tassels underneath so that they don't aggravate you. And then if you have your blocks, you can set them up so that they will land right under your knees. And then take yourself to lay down with this blanket underneath your spine. So your hips will be at the bottom of the blanket, and you will just lower yourself down. And hopefully your head lands on the blanket. And then once you get there, just allow your shoulders to wrap themselves around this blanket and let your arms just rest out to the sides. Settle in, make yourself as comfy as you can here. The shoulder opener, chest opener, and then let your eyes close. Come back to that breath. Breathe in. We'll make a little more space for the breath here, opening up all those little muscles in the chest, letting the belly expand and fill up, and then deflate like that balloon. Just listening to the fall of the rain, and surrendering to whatever it has to teach us this day. See if you can find stillness here in this pose. Give yourself permission to rest. Let those shoulders gently wrap around, moving toward the mat as you breathe. Soft face, soft hips, relaxed legs, feet. Just allow yourself to nestle in. Notice if you're holding on to tension anywhere in the body, and send the breath there, reminding it to just let go. Full deep inhalation, long, slow, complete exhalation. Sometimes it's helpful to swallow in the throat. Helps you to relax that throat. And take a few more breaths here. See if you can lower any resistance, reduce any place you might be holding on, and just let those shoulders drop a little closer to the floor, opening that heart, breathing in and breathing out. Really nice. You slow down good. Good job. When you're ready, bend your knees, just bring your feet to the floor, roll to one side, and slide that blanket out from underneath you. Just place it aside. And if you have those blocks under your knees, just slide them to one side and just release your legs long. Let your arms rest by your side and just see if you can notice your shoulders maybe a little closer to the floor here. Just notice the effects of each pose. In this yin practice, it's really nice to pause in between our poses and notice the effects of each one. There can be a bit of an afterglow. So it's nice. So when you're ready, we're going to bend our knees and bring our heels toward our hips. And then if you have a block, we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. You can also tuck your blanket underneath your hips, right there at the sacrum. But a block is also very nice. And the block can be on either height. I'm going to choose the lowest height today to be really kind to my back. And then with those nice open shoulders, that open chest, I'm going to snuggle my shoulders a little more underneath me, and then come into this bridge pose. I might take a moment to settle in here, to let that lower back get accustomed to this pose. And once you find that sweet spot, just let your eyes close here. If you decide you want to extend your legs out long, that may give you a deeper experience of this back bend. Perfectly fine to keep your knees bent and keep your feet on the floor. Let's allow our breath to bring us back to this present moment. Feeling the breath enter the body through the nostrils, filling up all the way, and letting go, releasing, softening. Again, it might be helpful to scan the body for any resistance. And just surrender. You want to be more like the robin than the crow. Enjoy this rainy day. Be with it. What does it have to teach us? Notice if your glutes are holding any tension, soften there. Allow the hips to just release toward the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. If you're noticing thoughts floating by like little boats on a river, and just watch them float. Come back to your breath. Beautiful job. We'll take a few more breaths here. Just slow and easy. If you notice your tummy growling, like mine is. It's just a sign of relaxation. You're allowing that rest and digest, that autonomic nervous system that just happens without any conscious effort on our part. We give our bodies a chance to restore and reset when we allow ourselves to rest and soften and get still. So without any conscious effort on your part, you're doing such good for yourself. So we'll take one more breath in. Let's do it together. Inhale. And exhale completely. And then press into your feet. Lift your hips and remove your prop from underneath you. And then again, just lower down, extend your legs, and notice the afterglow of this pose. You might notice just a subtle, more pronounced curvature in that lower spine. It's supposed to be there. You might feel pretty good on your back. And our next pose will be Happy Baby. So when you're ready, we'll take a transition through hugging our knees into our chest, which is going to stretch our lower back in a bit of a counter pose. So just let that happen. We'll move slowly into this Happy Baby with a smile on our face and a giggle in our heart. So when you're ready, send your feet toward the ceiling and bend your knees and draw those knees gently and slowly. Let this happen slowly. We're stretching the back in the opposite direction. When you're feeling like you can find some stillness, just let your eyes close again. And come back to your breath. If you feel the need to move, maybe straightening the leg one at a time before you get settled, do what feels right for your body. And the goal is to eventually come to stillness. Feel the breath moving in and out. Keeping that little curl to the lips, this playful pose. See if you can find a smile, even if it's just an inner smile. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, smile from the heart. I love that idea. Now notice if you're holding tension in your feet, your ankles. See if you can soften a little bit. Coming back to that breath. Soften in the hips, And let the shoulders stay relaxed. Breathing in. Breathing out. You're doing great. Keep the breath slow and smooth. Nice soft face, soft jaw. Breathe. Breathe. And take a few more of those nice, deep, nourishing breaths. Excellent. Now slowly draw your knees into your chest. We'll come out the same way we came into this pose. And when you're ready, just lower your feet gently to the floor. Go ahead and extend your legs long. And notice what you feel. Maybe some sensation in the outer hips or the inner thighs. You might feel sensation in the wrists of the hands. You might want to rotate them out, open and close. Good. And then as you're ready, bring your feet back to the floor, knees pointing toward the ceiling. And we're going to take that left leg and cross it over the right. Then we're going to lift our hips and take them over to the left, and then let our legs fall over to the right. I'm going to move my battery pack here. And then maybe take your blanket or your block and just let that prop up your legs on that side. And then turn your head to the left side and breathe here. And just notice that left hip and see if there's any resistance. Prop yourself up as much as needed so you can just soften completely. If you'd like to take that right hand and place it on that leg just to give it a little more encouragement, you can always remove it later on. And breathe here. See if you need to snuggle yourself a little more so the upper back is on the mat. Maybe you want to turn your head a little more to the left. And eventually we'll find some stillness. Might take a little bit of effort, but keep it as little as possible. And let your breath move slowly in and out. letting that left hip slowly stretch. It's going to take a different amount of time for each of us in each of these poses to find that place where we can just be, where we stop thinking about sensation, perhaps, and come back to our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember that song, raindrops keep falling on my head. There's that line that says, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. It's so true. No amount of complaining about the weather is going to change it. So can we just be with it? Befriend what is. So you might get a little more familiar with what your body resists. And see if you can encourage a softening, keeping that lightness in the heart, that gentle smile from the heart. Breathing one breath at a time. Staying here in the present moment. And take a few more breaths here. And then we'll take it to the other side. When you're ready, bring your head back to center and gently draw that left arm in and uncross your legs. Come slowly back to center. Realign your spine with the mat just to get that reset in the spine. You can keep your feet on the floor. Take your blanket to the other side, or your blocks, whatever you're using on this other side to prop yourself up. And then we'll cross the right leg over the left, and then press into that left foot. Slide your hips over toward the right, and then gently lower yourself over toward the left. You can open up your arms. You can keep your left hand on top of that right leg if you like. And then snuggle your shoulders in, turn your head in the opposite direction if your neck permits. And close your eyes again if they're open. And let everything soften. Breathing in and breathing out. Who wrote that? Burt Bachrach. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Things were so simple in the 70s, right? Probably not any. Probably not any more simpler, but they seem to be. Let your breath move into that right hip, allowing yourself to soften toward the floor on that side. Let the shoulders relax. Keep that lightness of heart. Listen to the rain. There is a time for action and movement. But it's so important to take time to slow down, to be still, to rest and digest all that has happened in our lives, to stop creating stories about the past or worrying about the future, to just be still and be present, allowing the rain to fall. Rain falls on all of us at different times. Can we soften to it and allow it? Let's take a few more breaths here. out of this slowly, rolling to our backs, unwinding the legs, and taking those hips back to center. And just let your legs release long on the mat. You can take your blanket, tuck it underneath your legs, underneath your knees. And let your arms just rest by their sides, by your side, by each side. Let your palms face up. And just notice how you feel. You feel a little more accepting of the rain, a little more willing to be still and listen to the sound of the rain for what it has to teach us. Let's rest in Shavasana. Thank you, my friends, for practicing on this rainy day. And the sun will come out. If not today, then tomorrow. Until next time.